Tell me to stay, but you want me to leave.
Hands up, hands up, hands up, hands up, hands up.
Living in chains, but you walk like you're free. Yeah, who you trying to be for me? Yeah, I just wanna be myself. Hey, I just wanna be myself. Yeah, I just wanna be myself. Yeah, I just wanna be myself. Yeah.
This is the neighborhood I grew up in. One of my close friends, Jay Scott, on my song Destinations, I talked about how, I never wanted to be a Christian rapper. I was trying to be like a lyrical conscious rapper growing up. And I was never trying to do Christian rap, but I remember she told me, like, she had this dream, and I was like pursuing music, selling CDs and doing everything, opening up for shows, and I wasn't getting nowhere. And like, I guess in a dream, God told her I wasn't gonna get nowhere until I fully surrendered my life up to God and start rapping for His glory. So that was always in the back of my head as I was like pursuing music. Like, I tried out for America's Got Talent and made it super far, and it was like, who made the beat? I was performing in front of the executive producers, and it's like, who made the beat? And we was like, we did a freestyle to Lupe Fiasco's Kick and Push. It's like, we can't monetize another artist's work on side this show. It has to be like something you produce your own. So that was another letdown. And then I had a whole bunch of opportunities in the city where I performed at like one of the biggest stages in the city, which is like the Schuster Center. And after that, I ain't see no return. So it's like, I always had that in the back of my head as I was pursuing music, and now I'm finally seeing doors open as I'm doing music for God. So that just show you can't run away from your calling and expect to get somewhere when God already got His hand over your life. So yeah, this is the circle though. This is where we used to hoop. We used to freestyle every day after school. We used to freestyle on this trail back here. This is where all my homies, we used to link down here, hooping, doing stuff we had no business doing. It's mud. Look completely different now.
Yeah, so we're sure.
But battle with the man behind the doors that we hide, yeah. I think it's cause the insecurities in our minds, yeah. And our minds, yeah. But one thing I know, that thing gon' keep you down until you let it all show. We try to hold it back, but it ain't something I wrote.
We got a problem of just letting it go. Let it go. And now she's singing like, let it go, yeah. Let it go, yeah. Let it go, let it go. And now she's singing like, let it go, yeah. Let it go, yeah. Let it go, let it go. And now she's sing it like, let it go, yeah. Let it go, yeah. Let it go, and now she singing like, let it go, yeah. Let it go, yeah. Let it go,
What inspired you to write this album?
I first started writing this album right after the mass shooting and the tornado hit Dayton. I was just like watching a couple of like artists that I like, and I got inspired to start producing my own album. And I was never in that territory or anything like that, so I started producing my own album, and I started writing some songs that maybe could relate to some people and touch on some of the subjects that happened in my city, like the shooting and the tornado. And I wanted to bring like encouragement, and also I wanted to bring a new sense of like gospel into the world. I ain't wanted to just be like regular and be like everybody else, but I wanted to be me, you know. So I started creating, and I started praying, and God showed me that I should make this album. And the first thing I told myself was like, man, it's gonna be the one, you know. And I still believe that right now. I still believe that this is the one. I still believe God is gonna do what He said He's gonna do with this music. So why sit on my hands and not give it to y'all? This is what I got, and this is all I can give. I'm giving my all in this music. So yeah, that's what inspired me.
So what has this album done for you in creating it?
What this album done for me is it showed me that I can go further than this. Like, this is not my cap, you know. Like, certain artists, you could listen to certain artists, you be like, man, you'll never make an album like such and such, you know. But I learned that this is not my cap. Like, I can go further than this, and it inspired me to be like, oh dang, I'm better than this, you know what I'm saying? Because before Redemption, I was down here, but now it's up here, you know. And it's showing me that, you know, I can create from the space that God gave me, but I can also reach a further depth, you know. And also, man, it showed me how transparent I could be in my music, you know. A lot of times I wasn't writing to tell you my story, but I was just writing about God's glory. But the Bible says that we defeat the enemy by the word of our testimony and the blood of the Lamb, you know. So if I don't tell you what I'm going through, how can I relate to you and show you how God's been in my life? And then you go ahead and download that in your spirit, and you see that, oh, God can do the same thing for me, you know. So that's what this album has done for me. It showed me, you know, I could reach a deeper depth, but also it showed me how transparent I could be with my music and how I can relate to my listener without just writing straight bars, you know, writing just straight, you know, sonnets and things like that. But that's what this album has done for me.
Chasing dreams is basically, hold up. You my everything, some patience, please. You can see the faint in me, no strength in me. Dealing with transparency and my faith with G. Who I'm supposed to be is haunting me. Feeling like the God in me is flaunting me. I've been dealing with the issues of identity. Skinny jeans, Chuck Taylors, and a rosary. This is everything they mention when I'm sleeping through the scriptures. I've been dreaming, getting visions of me saving all the children. This is everything I'm feeling, but I'm running from my mission.
It's the trail that I was talking about. We used to all like climb this little fence to get over here. And after like every like Friday, we called it like Freestyle Sessions Friday. We'd have like a freestyle session either on this trail or at my homie the Twins studio. And this is where I first started learning how to freestyle, rap, do all that, write lyrics, bars, everything like that. We just put some beats on the phone, or we have like a Bluetooth speaker, and we would literally just go off the dome, spit 16s, back then, you know, I wasn't saved, smoking and doing stuff like that. Had no business out here. We was 16. Had no business out here, but just where I first like honed and crafted my skills and things like that. So, you know, this bring back a whole bunch of memories, and this where the story of redemption really start for real. Cause if it wasn't for this, I wouldn't had no journey or no story to tell y'all. You know, so this where we at. We back to square one, to the basics, to where I came from and where I honed my craft and my skills. So, yeah. I know the tornado happened like last year or 2 years ago, right?
May 2019.
Yeah, and like those was like one of the few like incidents that happened that inspired my album, Redemption. That's why like on my cover, it's me in front of like a building that's destroyed by the tornado to show like, you know, we go through things and we go through trials and tribulations, and sometimes we see like the destruction before God rebuilds us, and God tears down before he builds up. So, you know, talking about like my journey, you know, I went through a lot of things that could have destroyed me and could have broke me, but instead it built me up. So like, with you like experiencing that firsthand to your house, like how did that feel?
So for those who don't know, Trotwood, Ohio, and Ohio South region, there was a lot of destruction, a lot of chaos that happened quickly. So to paint the whole picture for you guys, I was actually in Chicago, and I came back the day before the tornado, and it was Memorial Day weekend. You know, you want to have festivities, barbecue, whatever the case. Go to Columbus, come back, and I was like, someone was like telling me like, go home, you need to be home. All right, I literally parked my car 30 minutes before the tornado hit. So I'm upstairs, you know, pool party, I'm changing, you know what I'm saying, about to shower, whatever the case. And it hit. And it's to the point where I'm running down the stairs as glass is breaking, hitting the whole house. I'm like, okay, what's going on? I didn't know. I didn't have the thing on my phone. I ain't had nothing. I didn't know. So I'm like, okay. Go downstairs, everything's shaking for like 5 minutes. But like my neighborhood was destroyed, bad. Will came in a few days later and just saw the destruction, but bad. So all this happened in the span of like 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? To the point where I'm realizing now the power behind this that we don't even see. And looking back, I'm like, okay, you know, God is so powerful that it's like can show you 2 seconds. Okay, I'm in control of all this. You know what I'm saying? I know what's going on. I was hurt. You know what I'm saying? $50,000 plus in damage to my house is paid off. You know what I'm saying? Like, praise God for insurance. Yeah. But just like the small things that you take for granted, like waking up, you know what I'm saying? You got shelter, you got this and got that. I couldn't even leave my neighborhood to go to work. Man. So now I can't even got cell signal to call my boss. I ain't had nothing. But it really just set me back, like this COVID thing, it set me back in focus of like, I didn't have no internet, no nothing for a long period of time, and just the community coming together to, you know, encourage each other, sponsor each other, help each other out in this time where it was just like total chaos. And it was so foreign to us, especially our generation, like the Xenia stuff, we didn't know about that, but our generation didn't see anything like this in a while. So it was a blessing in disguise, but at the time it was just like so shocking and surprising about what was really happening and that it actually happened to us. Yeah. So. Yeah.
Out to that second hood, I want y'all to raise it up some, and then I'm gonna probably give like more energy, but I want y'all to do hits with me. I'm gonna probably like go more into detail with that when she get here. I don't know. Maybe we can do it now, for real.
How you picturing the hits?
So basically, like
well, what you say?
Yeah, with what I say, with everything that I say. Yep, you right on it. So like, kind of like, so Maybe I could fly away. Let's play it real quick.
I watch a lot of that. So what do you think this album could do for others?
I think this album can literally heal people. Like, while I was writing this album, it was healing me. I was talking about traumatizing things, man. Like, when you listen to it, I'm not gonna go deep on it in this documentary, but when you listen to the album, I bring up things, man. I bring up, well, I am gonna dig into it now. I bring up how, I went through a divorce. I brought up how, I got robbed several times. I bring up how, I had to split up from some of my friends because they thought I was, thinking I was better than them by trying to follow God. I bring up a whole bunch of things, man. I bring up this conversation me and my mom had when she was like, did you smoke? And I finally broke down and told her, like, yeah, I used to smoke, and things like that. She used to look at me as a good child, and so this was healing for me, because those are traumatizing things. Not always that affect others, but that can affect you internally. So when I listened to it and when I was writing, I was just getting healed from the inside out. And when you listen to it, you can get healed and delivered from the inside out too. You can feel that sense of redemption too, So that's what this album can do for others. Look, I faked the same smile over years, while holding back tears and trying to cope through ideas and live my life on my own and have a wife and some kids. But you can't live in your home if you don't like who you is. I see regret in that mirror. I live my life through that lens. I dealt with pride and offense while teeter-tot in the fence that draws a line in the sand. Is you with God or against? That's no offense to those who still just feel alone and feel like God ain't who you know. I know that struggle can be hard. You trying to die the things you want, and outside it feels you won't be the one that live life whole. Know it's holes in your heart that God gotta feel, dog. I just hope that you listen and pay attention, cause these words this for you. And Christ died to give you new life and give you new mind and different views. Yo, that struggle won't feel the same because you anchored in this truth. And your hunger won't be the same cause you chasing what be true. So when that sun don't shine, and when that rain tries to ruin my life, and when that pain won't rise, and you should tell him I'ma be alright. So tell him I'ma be alright. Hey, I'ma be alright. Hey, I'ma
Yeah, tell me I'ma be alright, yeah. Tell me I'ma be all fine, yeah. Tell me that everything's good when I feel like I ain't really got much time. Tell me I'ma be alright, yeah. Tell me I'ma be all fine, yeah. Tell me that everything's good when I feel like I ain't really got much time. I said, tell me I'ma be alright. Tell me I'ma be all fine. Tell me that everything's good when I feel like I ain't really got much time. Tell me I'ma be alright. Tell me I'ma be all fine, yeah. Tell me that everything's good when I feel like I ain't really got much time, yeah.